Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we are looking at something that's now quite old, but is absolutely fantastic and highly collectible. We are looking at the 2000 release by Corgi from their definitive James Bond collection of die-cast models. And these particular models all featured vehicles from the James Bond movies. And they are in a 1/36 scale. And this particular one we're looking at today is of the 2000, the Toyota 2000 GT as it appeared in the James Bond movie You Only Live Twice, which starred Sean Connery as James Bond. And this was, I think it was his fifth. Yes, it was his fifth movie in the series. And it came out in 1967. It ran, the length was just under 2 hours. A little bit of trivia: the budget for the movie was $9.5 million, and it grossed $111.6 million at the box office. And it was a little bit different, this one actually, because the script was written by Roald Dahl, the famous novelist, but was only loosely based on the Fleming's novel, the 1964 novel of You Only Live Twice. And it was the first Bond to really discard most of the Ian Fleming's plot, and they only used a few characters and locations from the book. Basically, it was an entirely new story at the end of the day. There we are, a little bit of trivia for you. Anyway, I've digressed. Let's get back onto this model. So this is the model in front of us. This is the box it comes in, and it says 007, the definitive Bond collection. And there you can see an image of Sean Connery as he appeared in James Bond You Only Live Twice. And it says You Only Live Twice, and at the top of the box you've got the 007 logo, and at the bottom of the box you've got the Corgi logo, and it says Corgi. And on the right hand side it's model number 65102, and it's the Toyota 2000 GT. And there you can see an image of James Bond in Little Nelly, which also appeared in the same movie. Okay, that's the front of the box. Let's turn the box around and let's see what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I turn the box around and this is what we got on the back. So it says 007, the definitive Bond collection, and there again there's an image of Sean Connery as James Bond from the movie. And it says You Only Live Twice, and it says both US and Russian space capsules go missing, with the world's most powerful nations blaming each other. Bond has just 48 hours to avoid a potential World War III scenario and heads for Japan, where he battles against the deadly Ernest Stavro Blofeld, whose base is hidden inside the depth of an inactive volcano. The Little Nelly gyrocopter air battle and the Toyota sports car chase provided some of the most memorable moments in the classic 007 adventure. The Toyota 2000 GT, kitted out with an in-vehicle two-way radio and video camera communication device, Aki, in her white convertible 2000 GT, rescues Bond from Osaro's gunman. She alerts head office of their danger, and a helicopter wielding a giant magnet soon dispenses with the pursuing car by lifting the car into the air and dropping it into the ocean. Manufactured as a hard top only, Toyota built two convertibles especially for the film, one of which has survived and resides in their museum in Tokyo, Japan. And the reason they did that was because Connery couldn't fit in the car, being that he's well over 6 foot, or he was well over 6 foot. His head was crushed against the top of the car, so they had to have the top removed. So interesting, another bit of trivia there for you. Okay, so that's the back of the box. Let's turn the box to the side. Let's just zoom out a little bit. And it says item number 65102, Toyota 2000 GT. You Only Live Twice, 007 logo and the Corgi logo. And again, you've got the image of Sean Connery as Bond. And on the other side, again, 65102, Toyota 2000 GT. You Only Live Twice, 007 and the Corgi logo. And that's the other bit of the Little Nelly gyrocopter. Okay, that's the box. Now, how about we take the model out of the box and have a look at it in all its glory without the hindrance of the box stopping us from seeing it properly. Okay, so I have removed the model from the box. Now, it is all still strapped into the box here, so I can't really remove it, and you've still got the tape that is holding the bonnet, the boot closed, which fires the missiles. So we can't really remove that, but I just want to show you the model itself because it is a splendid replica of the model. And it's not the first release, obviously, of this model. This model has been released years before in different sizes, but this is a particularly nice version in a 1/36 scale. Now it does come with all these accessories. So in there you can see you've got Kia driving the car, and you've also got in the packet there's Bond, who sits next to her in the car, turning around firing his gun, and you've also got the missiles. There's 6 missiles that come in this pack, and you also have this sales card or catalogue card which shows you all of the models in this particular series. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 models in that particular series at this time. I don't know if any more of them were produced later, but that was the catalogue of the definitive collection when this was released in 2000. Okay. Also in there is the operating instructions of how the car works, so that's interesting as well. Okay, so you can see, let's bring that forward. I mean, it's a wonderful backdrop, and it is just like it's straight from that scene in the movie where you've got the helicopter that picks the car up and drops it into the ocean because they're chasing Bond and Kia in the movie, and you can see this is on that stretch of road. So that is the backdrop. Very, very good backdrop. And if we just zoomed in on that there, I mean, doesn't that look amazing? So that would be an awesome display to have. It's just incredible. I personally would leave the car on this display. I would take it off and I'd load it up, but I would leave it on the display because I think the displays are absolutely awesome. Anyway, so you have got the boot at the back, which is the firing mechanism. Now, so I can't, because it's still sealed with the bands on it, I can't open it to show you, but you've got a button on the side of the car there, and if you do press the button, the boot will pop open and it will fire the missiles out the back. Now the missiles are spring loaded. You just pop them in, and the spring actually locks them into place, and you close the boot down, and as you press the button, the boot flings up and fires the missiles out. So that's pretty much how it works. And you can see you've got the jeweled headlights at the front there, and there's the registration number, and on the back you've also got the nice bright rear lights at the back there, gold and red. You've got the free rolling wheels as you do on all the Corgi cars. And you've got the driver there, and also Bond, who sits in the passenger seat, and you've got the flag there. I don't think the flag serves any purpose, it doesn't, but it is a lovely model, as you can see. Now it's a 1/36 scale, so that means size wise we're looking at, I think it's just about 10 centimeters in length. If we measure across at the widest point, we're about 4 centimeters. You can just see that in width. And if we measure the height of the car, which is going to be from the bottom to the top of the windshield, we're looking at 3 centimeters, maybe just a tad above because her head appears slightly higher than the windscreen. So that's the extent of the model. Now it is all full die-cast metal, and the die-cast metal is on top, bottom, full chassis. The front is all die-cast, the back is all die-cast. The only plastic parts on this model are the seats, the windshield, obviously the internal is all plastic, the figures, and the flag. The rest of it is all metal, obviously, other than the missiles that go in the back. They're also plastic, obviously, but other than that, and it's a beautiful model of a wonderful car that appeared in a fantastic Bond film. One of my favourites, Diamonds Are Forever. And funny enough, another little bit of trivia for you, that during the making of this film, it was announced that Sean Connery wouldn't be returning for a 6th movie. This would be his final Bond film. However, after missing the next movie, which was on His Majesty's Secret Service, he did return again for another outing as Bond, because he was offered an absolute fortune to appear in the next movie. And then again, he also appeared in 1983 in the movie Never Say Never Again, which was it wasn't an Eon Bond film, but it was another Bond film that was made, and they brought Sean Connery back. So he did appear in 71's Diamonds Are Forever, and again in 83's Never Say Never Again. Another little bit of trivia for you. Okay, so how well did this model do back in 2000? Well, like all of the James Bond models, they do exceptionally well. Now, this definitive series, I think, was more geared for the adult collector rather than the kids. Obviously, the kids have had their ones. It had been produced back in the 60s when the film first came out for the kids. I think it was reissued again after that, and then again here in 2000, and it was again reissued again later. Corgi have a habit of reissuing the same models, certainly in the Bond series, because it's such a popular series, and they just change all the packaging, add a few more gimmicks, and it's released again. But this particular one is 2000 release, and I think it's one of the best because it is based on the original model, and it is a very, very nice copy of it. So it did do very well, but as with all of these models, the definitive collection ran for such a short time. There was not massive quantities produced, although Corgi don't do anything in small numbers. So we say not massive quantities because there wasn't hundreds of thousands of these produced. They were probably produced in the thousands. And like I say, I think these particular ones were geared for a much older audience rather than the ages 3 and above. Although I don't think it tells you on the box the age break of these ones, but I personally think it was for the older audience. So yes, as anything with Corgi, they sold obviously very well, as all Corgi models do. Now, moving forward 24 years to 2024, which is where we are now, does this particular series or this particular model come up very often on any platforms? You see them occasionally, but not very often. Maybe because of the number that was sold. It also may be because these were really more for collectors rather than anyone else. The collectors have got them and keeping them. Don't get me wrong, you do see these appear on the platforms, but they're not like this. They are used, been displayed. They don't come complete with all the components. They're chipped and what have you. So you can pick them up quite easily on the platforms, but not in this mint unopened condition like this particular one we have today. But they do appear occasionally like this, not very often, but they do. But once again, when you order on the platforms, be very careful what you're buying. Make sure you have a good look at the item, because a lot of the platforms do use stock photographs, and you don't want to end up receiving something that you didn't think you was ordering. So be quite vigilant when you are looking at the item. Always make sure you click on the use button to have a good look and read the description of the actual item you're buying, because it could differ from what you think you are buying. Or rather than all that rigmarole, you can come to us at Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles, where we have managed to find a whole case of these particular series of James Bond models. There's a part of a shop buyout that we did, and there was a whole case of unopened case of these particular vehicles, the definitive Bond collection, and it was, it was all in the back of a storeroom, because they never bothered to reopen the box and put the cars back on the shelf when the shelves got empty. So it was left there, and I don't even know whether they knew they were there or not. But fortunately, we bought all the stock, and we found the case, and the rest is history. And all of those models are now available on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage James Bond items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive that this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful James Bond model with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.